think it made a lot of people in the MAGA movement uncomfortable that Jared was so intimately involved, right? He was the person that had Trump's ear, right? There is the king, and then there is the person who whispers into the king's ear. The king's advisor holds a lot of power. But anyways, Jared was that person. Everybody knew that if you wanted to get something done, you went through Jared. Okay, Jared was running the White House the first term. He just was. And what I think bothered me was Jared had so much power and he got a lot done that he wanted through President Trump. But then when Jared left his post at the White House, suddenly we learn that Saudi Arabia injects $2 billion into his fund. Okay, this is a headline in the Wall Street Journal. Jared Kushner's new fund plans to invest Saudi money in Israel. And so regarding the money, you would think after being in the office and speaking to your father-in-law that maybe that money would be coming to America in a big way. Well, Forbes did a deep dive on where that money was going. This was the headline. It was why Jared Kushner will become a billionaire no matter who wins. And in that article, it tells us, quote, Affinity had a slow start, deploying almost no capital in its first year while Kushner learned the ropes and navigated a turbulent pandemic market. But it's since picked up the pace and has now invested about $1.6 billion in at least 8 firms in Brazil, Germany, Israel, the US and UK, and the UAE in industries ranging from finance to energy. Its most notable investments so far are the ones that it made in Israel. In September of 2023, Affinity announced a $110 million deal for a 15% stake in the automotive and credit business of the conglomerate Shlomo Group. It was the first ever known investment by Saudi and Qatari wealth funds in Israel. I'm just going to LOL that because I'm funded by Qatar. Okay, take down Candace Owens. It's just like Israel does deals with Qatar the whole time. That's the point here. I really do wish that money was being invested in America, again, because you used the office to facilitate deals that would help you and your family. Of course you did that. Because then you wonder, okay, what is his vision after October 7th?
Gaza's waterfront property, it could be very valuable to, if people would focus on kind of building up, livelihoods. You think about all the money that's gone into this tunnel network and into all the munitions. If that would have gone into education or innovation, what could have been done? And so I think that it's a little bit of an unfortunate situation there. But I think from Israel's perspective, I would do my best to move the people out and then clean it up.
That's like very nice way of saying ethnically cleanse the region, clean it up, and then we've got some valuable property. We've got some valuable waterfront property. Then we know Trump's then talking about building Trump hotels, and it really, really makes you wonder. Okay, that was February 15th, 2024. And he already had a real estate vision for people being moved out of Gaza.
That's the thing with politics that most common people don't understand, right? You see, most Americans will be like, Qatar is funding terrorists. Qatar backs Hamas. Qatar this, Qatar that. Saudi Arabia doesn't have human rights. Saudi Arabia up, Saudi Arabia down. But your politicians are busy collecting things from all those nations that you guys think are horrible nations, or better still, the people are horrible. Your President Donald Trump, someone you guys said that he was for the people, that he wasn't an elite, that he wasn't corrupted, just got a huge plane or a very massive plane from the Qataris. The former, is it Trump advisor, Jared Kushner, got, I think, $2 billion from the Saudis. But common Americans will be like, yeah, Saudis are not great people. Qatar is funding Hamas. If not of Qatar, Hamas will not be what it is. When I see all this, I just laugh. I say to myself, they have turned these people into fools that they manipulate and they play. That's what they do. So how can you, in your right senses, say that Trump wasn't an establishment, or was it establishment? How can you, in your minds, in your right senses, say that Trump was out from the elite? Wasn't an elite. Trump is a multi-billionaire. Even before he won the presidency in 2016, he was already a multi-billionaire. Trump came from a very influential family. His parents were super rich. Trump is not one of you guys out there. Has never been. But for some reason, I don't know if it's collective amnesia, we all think that Trump is from the people. Trump is from the grassroots. Trump is not in the elite circle. That's what you all think. But you are lying yourself. Trump is an elite. Trump has always been an elite. Trump is in the upper 1%. He has always been there. He has mingled with Democrats and with Republicans. He has donated to Democrats and to Republicans. Trump is not an average American. You, the common American, has nothing in common with Trump. Nothing. And Trump will never put your interest ahead of his interest. Do you know how much Trump has enriched himself through the presidency? How Trump has used the White House and the whole political system to enrich himself? Do you know how much? And you will come out and say that Trump is for the common person, Trump is for the common people, Trump this, Trump that. You're just fooling yourself. You're really fooling yourself. And Trump loves this. He loves the attention. He loves the manipulation. He loves the delusion. He loves everything. As far as Trump is concerned, you guys can keep on being delusional, because you being delusional and foolish serve him more. What about the Epstein files? He was, he promised to release it. And remember, Epstein died in prison during Trump's presidency. What did he do? What did he do? Okay, when he left office, Biden came in. They didn't publish the files, did they? Then during the campaign, and in the campaign trail, Trump said that he was going to publish it. He was going to release JFK and even MLK. And Republicans, Americans who love to be fooled, rally behind him. They all thought he was the Messiah that has been sent from above by God to rescue Americans. So they thought. None of them thought that this was just masquerading. This was just camouflaging. This was just a charade that Trump was just putting up a play. Nobody thought so. And when Trump finally won the presidency, before he got sworn in, those people who fund campaigns against him were the same people who were invited to the inauguration, likes of Bezos, likes of Zuckerberg. They were there. These were the same people that funded Kamala Harris. These were the same people that banned him from social media when he said things that they didn't like. These were the same people invited for the inauguration. The common people who were there in the cold, in the heat, were not invited, were they? And rather than having an open inauguration ceremony, they had an indoor one where just a handful of people were invited. Where were all those people who stood in the cold for hours just waiting for him to deliver a speech? Where were they? They were nowhere to be found. Instead, we had people like Elon Musk. Is it Sam Altman from? Is it the guy with the chat GPT thing. Those were the people who were invited. You see that you've been played, isn't it? That is exactly what politicians are. They are good in the act of manipulations. They are good in the act of deception. They are super, super creative people. And when they found a weakness in people, they would exploit it. That's just who or what they are. And if you are following any politician, be very, very careful. They never sided with you. Never, ever.